they can live as Vincent. But they can live as Vincent.
Okay. Stand by. And good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Inside Sports Talk Radio. We are live today in Hamilton from the Argus Group Insurance as we bring you another edition or another weekly series of Inside Sports Talk Radio on this Monday afternoon. I'm Mian Rollins, along with co-host Earl Basin. Good afternoon to you, sir.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How's things with you?
Everything's everything.
Everything's everything.
Yeah.
That's good. We've got a lineup today that will take us right up to 2 o'clock. We have Mr. Vincent Jerome Robinson joining us in studio. I want to say in studio.
Yeah, keep saying it. Don't worry about
it. Joining us here from Argus. Also, we have the Bermuda Netball Association President, Kamal Evans join us, as well as our health and fitness segment with Argus Group Insurance and some representatives of the Bermuda Half Marathon Committee that will be joining us this afternoon, and a winner that participated in signing up early for the annual Marathon Derby, which is actually next month on May 24th. It's the 110th edition of that race. And of course, we're going to have Mr. Representatives of the Hamilton Triathlon join us, ITU, join us in at this location, Argus, today to give us a word on the withdrawal of Philadelphia. Obviously, you broke the story this morning on the radio at 8 o'clock, and a lot of people were like stunned, and we just want to hear that side of the story and give us what's happening here. But I want to start with you first before we go straight to Jerome, who's here with us. You went to a press conference today at 11 o'clock. Any updates on regarding football?
Yeah, the Bermuda Football Association held a press conference just to update the media on the end of season celebrations, I guess, if you will. They plan a symposium. They have a special guest coming in, Shaka Hislop, no stranger to Bermuda, right. Known him, representing Trinidad and playing in the UK. Obviously, he had some influence on Freddie Hall as well.
Right.
Playing, when he was at college. Played with Shannon Burgess, who's first vice president of the BFA. So on, check this, April 27th is the award ceremony at City Hall.
City Hall?
Yeah.
April 27th?
April 27th.
Same day as the MSM World Triathlon.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, very much so. But they're having a symposium prior to that. On the Wednesday night, they're having a roundtable discussion with coaches and just to talk about the season. And then they go into their symposium where they're having two. One is with current national team coaches and players that will give some insight into the path of the Gold Cup. And the second one, which will involve Shaka, will be, I believe, if I remember, my journey. And just people's journey in football that has given them careers after football through education, through other means. So that's going to be involved as well. So
good. Yes. You know now, Hislop.
Yeah.
Shaka Hislop is a analyst for the ESPN International, and he does football, and he's also done I think various other events, sporting events for the Caribbean. So he's no stranger to the viewers of Bermuda on the ESPN scene. Well, turning our attention now is to Mr. Vincent Jerome Robinson. As you know, Jerome Robinson, better known as, he's a young man that who's into bodybuilding, keeping himself in great shape. Unfortunately, he got into an accident some time ago, but the good thing is that he's rebounded. And he goes to my gym, and I watch him vigorously, Monday through Saturday, put in the hard work. And it's like he hasn't lost a step. And it's encouraging to see a person like him who can explain more about his situation, but he hasn't given up. And he's just like, blows my mind. Like a person like me who struggles every day, and then watching him, it gives me the encouragement to say, you know what, I need to be like him. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Just let our listeners know, your situation about the accident you got into, and then where you are now with your training program.
Okay, the training program. Let's start with the training program. Never changed.
Okay.
I go to the gym every day that is open besides Sunday because I'm entitled to one day as well. I got in an accident. I think the year before last in 2017. I hit a car. The car kept going. It was a hit and run. Well, I might race. It was a hit and run. And I lost my left leg. And hey, I still go to the same gym, so I'm the same guy.
How does it motivate you daily? Because you're there like in the gym at 7 o'clock or 7:15.
6 o'clock. No. So I'm saying I'm talking about what you're talking about. No, not that early. I'm in the gym like about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
in the morning.
Right. How do you continue to motivate yourself in a situation like you're in?
I want to see growth. I want to see gains.
Right.
It don't matter what situation I'm in. I'm putting myself in the same situation as everybody else.
Right.
I go to the gym. Don't change.
You're an inspiration to people at the gym because the average person's like, wow, what you're doing is remarkable. And you're in like better shape than a lot of other people at the gym. And I'm going to call you Jerry because I know you as Jerry.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were there 6 days a week, this doesn't hold you back. And it's like an inspiration for others. So for someone who's listening, what sort of tips do you give them to say, you know what, don't give up. Health is important. Take care of your health.
Stay focused and stay willing to get educated. Because I learn different things every week, every month by going to the gym. And I've been going to the gym for a long time.
Correct.
So every day is a learning day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You see him like lifting like some heavy weight, and they're like, I thought like he needs some help moving the weight. No, I got it. I got it. And it's like, wow.
How long
amazing.
after you had the accident did you get back into the gym?
Good question.
I just got back into the gym March 1st, and I've never missed a day besides Sunday. It's a rest day. And one time I couldn't go to sleep.
Right.
I didn't go to the gym that day. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
But
how does it feel now that you're back in the gym?
Everything feels like all used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you while you were, I guess, on the mend?
Yeah.
Were you missing that time? Did you feel that was what was missing in your life?
I wasn't missing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. I didn't even think about going to the gym.
Right.
See, I ain't getting back to the gym.
Right.
I don't want to get like how I used to be.
Right.
But I'm even greater than I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you decide to go back?
Because I used to go there every day.
Right. So you wanted some normalcy back in your life.
I beg your pardon?
You wanted some normalcy back in your life of what your routine used to be.
Yeah. And that's exactly what my life is.
Right. What are you pushing now?
Bench press?
Yeah.
I just got back in the gym, so I don't go cross 45s. 145 on each side, 90 pounds.
Right.
That's all. But I do it by myself. I don't need nobody's help.
Right.
Even when I couldn't, even when I couldn't go to a full set, I couldn't get to 10.
Right.
On 7, I raised my arms up, my arm dropped back down.
Right.
The bench press bar tipped over. Somebody in the gym came and helped me.
Right.
But hey, things don't change.
How does it feel? Because you hear Ian saying that you're an inspiration to others. How does that make you feel?
It's a change.
Right.
I used to be the old me, but now I'm inspirational to everybody. Inspirational to others. Everybody that wakes up and wants to live their life, I'm inspirational to them.
Right.
So I'm a very powerful player.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Do you, now that you're in, Renard actually, when you get back, you said in March, how do you train, meaning your diet? Is it changed now that you're in your situation? Or
No, my diet hasn't changed at all. I eat 5 times a day. In the morning time, I eat a half a cup of oats, 12 dry cranberries, 12 almond nuts, a half a banana. But before I eat that, I have a little small shot of cayenne pepper, and I eat a half a clove of raw garlic after that. Don't change. I do the same thing that I used to do.
Wow. Now that you come to the gym, and I saw you Saturday at the gym, you put in like at least an hour to 90 minutes.
Of course.
And it's like non-stop. You just haven't lost a beat.
Of course. But I do skip a beat because after every set I come to 30 and then I get into the next set.
Wow. He trains on his own.
Right.
He doesn't have a personal trainer.
Right.
He does his own program. He's always been like that. So you would think like in his situation now that he'll have a personal trainer. No, he does his own program. Do you change your program every 4 to 6 weeks, or you working?
Nah, I used to train one day. I let it run, and I used to train with the same guy that I go to now to get some help from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow. So with that said, then once you're finished training for the day, how do you spend your next day as you make your recovery?
I used to be active, but right now, because I only have one leg, I don't really do nothing. So all my energy that's exerted through my body through the day goes into the gym. Yeah.
Now I know the president of the Bodybuilding Federation, Mr. Mark Simons, talked to you about possibly coming on board, and others have actually come on board in August to do a show.
This is the first time that I know exactly who he is, like what his position is. He said, "Is he president?" Of course I'm going to do this show. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to do the show. Just because I found out who he is just now, of course, you ask me, I'm going to do it.
Wow, and I think the show is August 13th, so you have about 4 months to get ready for it. Walking the park for you.
I could take my shirt off. I'm ready now. I'm not ready, because I got a little piece of fat on me.
Right.
Because I'm building a competition already, so I know that I'm not ready. But everybody else's standards, I'm ready. But by my standards, I'm not ready. I'm eating sloppy.
When Earl and I was asking moments ago, like, you're an inspiration to others. What goes through your mind when someone asks you, like, Jerry, how do you do it every day? What goes through your mind?
I just do what I used to do. What what are you talking about? I just do what I used to do.
Wow.
Nothing changed.
Would you help someone in the right path? They ask you for some advice on how to eat right, how to train, and the knowledge that you know, and how you're always looking to improve on yourself?
No. I would wait to see what they look like and how the body changes. I would know what they're eating. I would know what they're eating until they tell me, but I would know what they're eating clean. Your body's growing. You got gains. They're showing. You're doing the right thing. But take some advice.
Wow.
This is what I would do. I don't want to say what you would do. This is what I would do if I was in your position.
So how long you been keeping yourself in good physical shape?
I've been keeping it ever since I went to when I got sent to Florida Air Academy. I've been keeping the gym. That's the first time ever I went into a real gym.
Open
I
up
said,
your
yeah.
eyes. This is what you like.
The moment I set foot in there, I already knew I was going to do this. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to do it and conquer it and do what I do.
And since then, you've just been at it.
Yeah, I'm just been at it. From time to time, the gym might change, the equipment might change, the situation might change, but the results don't.
Okay.
The results don't.
Well, before we wrap up, Jared, is there anything you'd like to add to our listeners? Any information you want to pass on? Because we're going to tell everyone that you're going to be ready for August 13th.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie at all. I'm gonna look awesome.
So we can come back to you later on and talk to you again.
Of course.
Good, man.
And I was gonna say after the show when I win it, but I'm not competing.
No.
I'm just in the show.
Just in the show to show what it takes.
Yeah.
Take your experience with it. That's good. I'm
Then,
sure the president's happy about that.
When they take my experience of them, it's gonna blow them out of this world.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today on Inside Sports Talk Radio.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Thanks much for having me.
Not a problem. It's our pleasure. All right.
Okay.
We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will speak with the president of the Bermuda Netball Association. We'll be back after this. welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Joining us now is Kamal Evans, President of the Bermuda Netball Association. Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
All is well?
Yeah.
You recovered from that long journey?
Somewhat.
Somewhat?
Yeah.
What's on the horizon now that the tournament is finished and you're looking towards putting things together for the summer?
Well, we are going to be advertising our summer league that is due to kick off on the 15th of May. We, as a council, decided to try and offer 2 divisions this year, one being the normal division of corporate companies, which is all female, to be a co-ed division. I think the co-ed is definitely the way to go. I mean, it brings up the atmosphere, it brings out, the enjoyment. And it would be also a great way for our footballers and people that are off season to just have something where they, got themselves going, doing a little bit of cardio. Actually, a lot of bit of cardio as far as, they don't realize. But I think that it will definitely bode for being a really fun environment.
Okay. Just reflecting on the season, because the season, 1 minute is here and it's gone. How do you compare this season compared to the past 2 or 3 you've been under your leadership? That's been under your leadership, excuse me.
I mean, we continue as a whole to work to build on it. We always look to try and encourage new teams to come on board. We still just have the same teams that we've had. We've had Robin Hood, who's been there for a few years, and we're hoping that some other people will, look to try and get some teams and get into the senior league so that we can continue to grow the sport. And not even just within the senior league, but within the junior leagues as well. We're going to be looking to try and put on some workshops and things of that nature, so that we can maybe get some more coaches, because obviously we understand that one of the things is the coaches,
Right.
And I mean, it does take a huge commitment. We continue to encourage former or past netballers that are looking for a way to give back to the sport to potentially come out and maybe, just offer some guidance and some assistance for those that may.
Can you just look at from the year one when you were leading under your leadership, meaning your committee, now the things that you've implemented and seen the growth in your sport? Can you reflect on that?
Well, I definitely would say it's not me. It's definitely the committee. We have pushed the youth program. We have pushed the youth in general, with us being awarded the Youth Sports Awards bursaries from Youth Sport and Recreation. We've been able to consistently have players go overseas and participate with WASP's Netball Club. We have recently had the partnership with Digicel, which has been fantastic for our youth league, giving us some new equipment, also bringing a new field. We've had our Girl Strong program through them. So that has been really great in hopes of potentially maybe opening it up not just for netballers but for young ladies as a whole. I think that the Girl Strong program has been huge and very instrumental in letting our girls understand that it's about the holistic child. It's not just about, because everyone potentially may not be that national netballer. But if we can basically show them that it takes a family, just like we say it takes a village, it takes to raise these young people that are having so many challenges. So we're definitely looking to encourage in those areas. We've also been able to get facelift down there to the courts. We've had our challenges. Everything challenges are a part of life. But we consistently continue to press on, and will do. Continuously try to press on to build the sport, to grow the sport back to what it once was. Right.
In sports across the board is development. Have you seen your development program grow, which is obviously you emphasize on your youth, but the development of itself so you can put more, results into your senior program? Have you seen the development grow under your leadership?
Yeah, I mean, clubs have definitely pushed their youth programs, their youth players. It's a shame that we just have so few. However, the clubs that are there, you can see that they consistently look to build their youth program. They consistently look to make sure that their youth are getting exposure and experience. One of the things in the build up to the under 16 tournament last year was that we basically at the beginning of the year stated that our under 16 players that are a part of the national program can play an unlimited amount of matches up. And I think that really done them justice. It gave them a feel for competing with people that are slightly at a higher level than where they're at. And the clubs that took advantage of that, you can definitely see it within the play of those players. It's just that we want to continue to build on it, because once these players leave on the 16s, they're moving on to the seniors. We like to see a smooth transition, whereas players are not shell-shocked and then turn away from the sport. So we definitely looked at avenues to try to get them, a feel for it without penalty. And I think that that's something that we will definitely continue, because we have to push from the youth upwards and continue to grow. The previous under 16s, which are now the under 21s, we are definitely seeing the fruits of those labors, and hopefully this group getting their exposure, they'll be able to move on and be able to be a force to be reckoned with.
Where do we sit internationally? We know last year there was the big build up to getting ranked. And of course, in order to stay ranked, we have to play X amount of international matches. Where do we stand? Because we're almost half the year done.
Actually, we need to definitely get something going with that. There was something in the works that kind of fell through, so we'll be looking at some other opportunities for our senior national team to go and get some matches in. I mean, it's really difficult because, logistically, where we're situated and where we're located, obviously the financial aspect of it all. But we are currently 29th. I want to say we are currently still ranked. It's not just been difficult for us in Bermuda, it's been difficult as a whole within our region. So we always try to go towards tournaments where we have more bang for our buck. And we're going to the USA, where we were going to play in a quad series. Unfortunately, that fell through. So we now need to try and look at some other options to get our senior players out there playing in order for us to maintain our ranking. Well, for me, it's not really an option to lose your ranking. Of course, nobody wants to do that. However, we have to realistically decide what is it that we're going to do. Are we going to try to continue to build from our youth in hopes of having longevity within our senior program? So it's definitely something that we're going to have to consider. What is it that we're going to do, because we have the under 21s, which is the World Championships in Fiji in 2021. So there's a lot going on right now, and we have to definitely try and continue to get some sponsorship and things of that nature, and see what it realistically it is a better fit for us at this time.
Does the Caribbean offer a similar senior tournament as the Jean Pierre?
Yes and no. Most of theirs are qualifiers, and obviously, the powerhouses of the Caribbean will automatically move on to matches that will take place. So, within our region in particular, everyone is actually trying to build through their youth ranks. You had the high school tournament that is now going to allow for Bermuda to participate, because last year was the first year, and Bermuda couldn't participate because basically you needed everyone to come from one high school. They've since realized Bermuda is extremely small, that doesn't fit for us, but we want to continue to build as well. So they're looking to amend those rules. We've seen the potential amendment that everyone needs to vote on, which I think should go through. You also have the under 21s, which is going to be held in Trinidad, which is the qualifying for the under 21s in Fiji, to potentially where I think Bermuda can definitely try and vie to make it out of our region. The young ladies were a part of a tournament last year, and they done extremely well against USA and Canada. So yeah, we just have to see where that's going to take us.
How do we match up against these countries as far as getting preparation matches? I mean, we can train, but as you know, it's important to play.
Yes.
That will help us once it gets to the tournament. So how do we has there been any talk on how that could possibly happen?
I mean, for us, it is a bit of a disadvantage, because they can island hop.
Oh, yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
they can island hop, which we don't have the advantage of that. We have to go via New York or via Miami. So we have to look to those that are potentially trying to put on tournaments that are potentially going to offer us a lot more. And there currently right now there isn't anything. Our best bet would have been USA and Canada, which are very, very close, and going and playing matches. But maybe what we might have to just consider is that we just forgo an actual huge tournament and just say, okay, we need to travel and maybe we need to play a series where it's the best out of three, because nothing in the rules states that you have to play several different countries. It just states that you have to play a total of X amount of matches. Right. So there's a lot going on. There's a small pool of workers. We're always looking for persons to join the Bermuda Netball Association in hopes of continuing to strive to make netball what it once was. I just can't stress that anymore, and then we'll just go from there and see where that takes us.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. One thing you had stressed on was live event. Sorry, what's my translate? One thing you stressed on was about fitness, and you had the girls in the gyms. Is that still working today?
Oh, we love the partnership that we have with Beast. Beast have been amazing to the Bermuda Netball Association as far as the seniors, the under 21s, and the under 16s. They have continued to offer their services and us trying to build up the strength and endurance of our players, and we hope to continue to work with them and alongside them to definitely build up some areas where we see that we need to strengthen. That's why it's great to go to these tournaments, especially with the younger ladies, so that they can actually get a feel and they have an appreciation for it. So we will definitely continue our partnership with them, and like I said, now they're kind of in off season. Obviously, some of the players will probably be participating in the summer league, the corporate league, which is what we hope. Come September, October, we'll basically carry on again. Right. Trying to continue to build them up.
You pointed out months ago about training in the off season. It's like nowadays, when years ago, 15, 20 years ago, people, when they had an off season, they relaxed and did what they wanted. Nowadays, athletes are staying in shape in the off season. Are they taking advantage of this gym and knowing the importance from just, for example, this just concluded tournament in the Caribbean, how fit they are now, where they need to be in another 3-4 months from now?
I mean, it's imperative. It's imperative, and it's there. Obviously, once we come back, we definitely want to give their bodies a rest, because these young ladies have been training like 4 or 5 times a week consistently, which is a huge strain on the body, and we want them to be able to relax, but relax within reason. You still need to consistently make sure that you're getting your extras in. You need to make sure that you're doing your team. So it's just an adjusted format. So instead of where you're training twice a week consistently, you may come out and you might train twice a month with a team setting, but then you can still have that once a week gym day where they're continuing and maintaining their fitness and things like that. We definitely don't want them to slacken off completely.
All right. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll hear more from the president of the Bermuda Netball Association. We'll be back after this break.
Ian Rowan and co-host Earl Basta.
And welcome back. You mentioned just before we went to break that 2021 is an international event happening that year. Is anything on the horizon before that on the calendar year for the rest of the year of 2019 or in 2020 for international competition for the girls?
Well, we'll have to just reassess because obviously the event that we were planning for, it was off the agenda now.
Right.
So we'll have to go back. One of the benefits is through AFNA putting out a 2-year-long schedule. We can see if there's something else that can potentially come up that we can be a part of. I know that a lot of these smaller countries have been really pushing netball, and the governments have been investing in netball. While it's very far to get there, there were a couple of tournaments where they were like, okay, if you can get here, we can pay for accommodations, we can pay for things like that. So it's just a matter of us going back, looking at things, assessing what's going to be a best fit for us. Aside from Trinidad and Tobago for the under-21s, which is the qualifying, and for right now, there currently isn't anything major. We always.
How much of a challenge is it for netball, just like other sports, when it comes to international events? How we always want to keep our athletes prime-timed in training, playing the domestic competition, but as you get to a certain level, you're like, you know what, I need some international competition. How important or how much of a challenge it is for the Netball Association to put those things in place for your program?
I mean, it's massive. It's massive. We have to play international matches in order for us to be able to grow. That's just the reality of it. We would love to potentially host something here, but then financially for countries to be able to come and participate, it's not financially feasible for them. It's just too expensive. But that's not going to deter us from potentially. I mean, they keep asking us, different countries asking us, you guys want to host something, you want to have something down there, everybody wants to come to Bermuda. So it may be where we have to start to look towards that to see if we can get Bermuda to get on board so that we can host some international matches here. But it's imperative for any sport for you to be exposed to international competition and a different level of competition. I mean, obviously here in Bermuda, the netball leagues are only so big, and we can't grow beyond only what we have. So it's hugely important for us to be able to get that international exposure.
Just sitting here listening, maybe a suggestion that IMG Academy offers so many different sports. I'm not sure about netball, but they have courts that could possibly be, because they have basketball, they have so many basketball courts. If we can arrange to meet 2 or 3 countries there, because they can house you,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just an idea that if everyone went to Miami, as opposed to everybody trying to get to a Caribbean island, I think
Right.
that will kind of suit, and possibly USA will be able to get a team to IMG Academy. But just a
Yeah.
thought. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to try and reach out to see if they would,
Right.
accept.
No,
something
it
like
doesn't.
that.
And this is one of the things where I say, as a sporting community, we need to basically not house everything to ourselves. We need to come together as a collective, because I know, the Bermuda Football Association obviously has a partnership with IMG, which I think is great for them. It's probably just a matter of us collectively coming together, maybe with the National Governing Bodies Association.
Yes,
We've continuously talked about sharing some of the resources
Right.
that we have in
Yeah,
order for
yeah.
us all to do well. So I just think it's probably just a matter of a conversation,
Email,
email, just to try and get the ball rolling, and to see if there's the possibility for something like that to take place.
Just an idea. I mean, who knows? It may not come off, but
Right.
a little
It's
bit
worth
of
a conversation, for
just
sure.
to try it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think for our athletes to see past domestic, we have to be dangling something out there
Yeah.
for them to stay involved in the sport, to convince them to stay in shape in the sport and go even further. So, I mean, I see what netball has allowed a lot of the females to be able to do, become,
Yes.
they feel as if they're part of a sporting community,
Yes.
which for them is that moment to shine.
Yes.
So I encourage you guys to keep going.
Yeah.
work hard to get some more people involved,
Yeah.
especially administrative wise,
Definitely.
because it's much needed.
Yes.
Much needed. You guys can't keep doing it by yourselves.
Yeah, and we have several netballers that have gone on to do extremely well in other sports.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say yes, kudos to netball, because netball, has helped them with some of those fundamental things that have helped and assisted with them in other sports.
Right.
I'm sure they'll attest to that themselves.
For sure. Any final comments before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to encourage our corporate community. Come on, get on board. Co-ed division, speak. We'll be sending it out to the football clubs, as well as we'll be posting it out to our database, and it'll be on our Facebook page. Summer League is where it's at. It be a fun 6-week intensive, 2 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
What time?
So the matches usually start at 6. It's usually one at 6 and one at 7. And it's just 10-minute quarters.
Right.
Just 10-minute
How many
quarters.
quarters?
10 minute.
How many quarters?
10 4-minute quarters.
Burnt out.
I mean,
Yeah.
4 10-minute quarters.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. So it's definitely, the fitness is unreal.
Yeah.
I can tell you, it helps with your coordination, helps with your speed and agility. It can definitely
Now, for the
assist
co-ed,
with things.
Is there a minimum of males and a maximum of males
At minimum
on the
3.
court? On the
3
court.
at one time.
But they could have less
No
than
more-
3.
No more than 3.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, for us, how we've done our mix-up, switch-ups is
Yes.
like, basically, 3 men have to be on the court at all times.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? So at least 3 men on the court at all times.
At all times.
Yeah.
What happens if a team can't field a third male on the night?
Then they'll have to play a position short.
Oh.
So it's 2 gonna play.
Oh.
No defaults, just play.
No defaults for playing.
Yeah, you know what the guys are going to play.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper, go defend.
No way. They like center. I'm telling you.
I know they like it, but if they're short, goalkeeper, go defense.
Yes.
I know the guys like that activity of running up and down, because
Yes.
most of them, if they're playing football, that's what they're used to doing.
Yes.
Once you explain to them that, okay, wing attack, you can only go into this area, you can't go past this line, and guys feel restricted.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they'll want to play center.
Yeah.
Well, I
To-
tell you, basically, I had to use football terminology
Yes.
during our switch-up, mix-up with the males that were, participated with my team
Right.
throughout it, and it worked. And I said, thank the Lord for basically having the know-how to speak football terms to them. Tell them the center's like your center mid. You control everything.
Right, right.
You have to distribute. You have to get back and defend, and all of this. Okay, I got it. I think I got it. So it's good fun.
Are you strict? 'Cause let me tell you something, Ian. I played in a so-called celebrity thing.
It was a celebrity.
Are you guys so strict with the rules? I mean, when you're feeling good, you
Yeah.
want to run up the court, and you get blown down because you're not supposed to come out of this. With the guys, are you guys going to be strict with the rules, or are you?
I mean,
be a
we're
little
lenient within reason. We
I know you
can't
can't-
have you playing
I know-
goalkeeper down one end and you're down in the opposite end.
Right. I understand that. I understand that.
So we're very lenient as far as
Okay.
that. I mean, at least if you're making an effort,
Right.
I think that the umpires can appreciate that. And
This is more
be a-
fun,
Yeah.
and that's what Summer League is. Summer League's really fun,
Yeah.
and that's where I think, if you can recall back, Robin Hood used to enter the Summer League,
Yeah,
and now they're in the league.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we encourage everyone to come on board
Cool.
and be
Okay.
a part.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll see you in 2 weeks
Okay.
from today.
Thank you.
And you see Earl and Don Bassett and others from probably be the broadcasting playing in the Summer League.
I would love that.
We'll take a commercial break and then, actually it's news time, so we're going to go straight to news. Don Bassett, you take it away at the station. It's news time. We'll be back after the news.
Inside Sports Talk. Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Bayston.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio as we're live here from the Argus Group Company in Hamilton. With us in the studio.
You were doing so well. You were doing so well.
We have some good people with us at Argus.
Yes.
Shakira Warner, Dr. Gina Tucker, Renee Lawrence, and young Ryan. I don't know your last name, right? Outerbridge. I'll let Dr. Tucker tell you more about Ryan Outerbridge. But we have a health and fitness segment right now with Dr. Shakira Warner. What we're going to discuss today will enlighten people regarding May 24th. So just brings up to what we're going to share.
So this year is a very, very exciting year for the Argus Group and the Bermuda Half Marathon Derby. This is the first year that Argus is actually the lead sponsor. And also we have a lot of other things to celebrate, being that it's the 110th year of the race, and we just put up some stats in saying that it's the 10th year of the relay race. So we're really excited to be a part of it. Such a Bermudian holiday, the Bermudian company, and it really is a pleasure for the Argus Group to be involved in it.
Mm-hmm. It's different because you said it's 110. It's a big year. What's going to be different, Dr. Tucker, for this year going forward?
Wow. Well, celebrating. So it's going to be a whole lot of things different. You know Dr. Talk and how she celebrates. It's just going to be a whole lot. This year, we're actually here. Yes, August is our lead sponsor, and thankfully, because they're really stepping up and supporting this race and this event in a big way, along with all our other sponsors. But Ryan is here because he is probably the tick-off, the first item on our celebration list, right? Which was an early bird. This year we pushed out early, awesome website that has everything you need to know about this race is there. So people who want to know what's happening need to go there. But Ryan, thanks to his mom, signed up early. And through a random press of a button and selection of a number, his name came up. And so he's here because he is our first big celebratory moment. And he has a whole lot going on. So we just nailed it with Ryan, and we're excited that he is indeed our winner. And he can tell you more about what's going on with him. But he hits many targets. He's an early bird. He's a first timer. And he's just a young man, so some of us wait 40 years to make it our first. He's 16 and he's making it his first. So
what did he win then?
Oh yeah, he won because we're doing it big, right? So big would only be a big whopping $500 in cash. Yeah, cool cash that his mama's gonna make sure he spends very much.
Ryan, congratulations being the winner, first time winner for this event. How does it feel?
Yeah. Thank you. I'm very excited, obviously, to win $500, and I'm excited for the race. I've been practicing a lot lately in the lead up to 24th of May. I've been doing a lot of miles and going out on runs early mornings on like the weekend, but I also have to prepare for other things like I have the Carifta Games coming up this weekend. I leave on Thursday, so yeah, I'm very excited.
How are you managing the two, because you're doing the 5,000?
Yeah, 5,000.
But then a month later you're looking to do half a marathon. Training a little different.
Yeah, it's pretty different. Well, like during the week I'll go up to the track like after school and like work on my track work, getting ready, preparing for the 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And like during the weekends, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'll like go down to St. George's and like run like the first 8 miles of the race one weekend, like go longer and longer, and pretty much like just working with each one.
Right. No,
Each week.
I've watched you grow in the sport,
Yeah.
and I think you and I had a conversation some time ago about you're a different person when you're running on the road as you are on the track. What do you feel the difference in the two is?
Running on the road, it's like more,
Freedom, maybe?
yeah, more freedom
Yeah.
and like more competition. Well, I won't say competition. Like I have like older people to run against on the road, like because it's like open,
Right.
as opposed to on the track. Like it's like just people my age and like under 20s age group, as I would like prepare me for like Carifta.
What target have you set for first Carifta time wise?
Time wise?
Yeah.
I'm looking to get around 16:30
Right.
maybe.
What was the winning time last year? You know, for under 17.
I think it was under 17.
You're under 17, right?
No, under 20. Under 17 does 3,000.
Right. Okay. So you're running under 20. What was your
Yeah.
winning time? You remember what your winning time was?
I think it was about 15:25. I think.
Okay. All right.
But I still have time to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time's on your
Sort that
side.
out. Yeah, he's gonna sort
And
that out.
have you worked out a time that you want to finish the half marathon?
I'm looking to get under hour 30.
Okay. Not
Anything
bad.
can happen on a day.
That's
Yeah.
right. Not bad. Not bad.
Dr. Tucker, this will be year 2 coming out of St. George? Year 3. Year 3.
2015
Yeah.
was the first year.
And I think a lot of people are excited that you've now decided to do this year about. Any other special things for this year?
Well, this year, and I'm not going to say this is going to be every year, but this year we will be having an expo, right? A fitness and health expo. It is important that Bermuda get fitter, and we know that, and healthier.
Right.
And so we're really trying to support that along with August, and having the expo on the normal pickup day, which is the 18th of May, Saturday, 18th of May at 10 a.m. So that's something that's coming up. We're having awesome prizes for our volunteers. Really want to encourage the volunteers to get out there. None of these events, we have the triathlon coming up in a week, about two. And none of these events could happen without volunteers. So we're asking our Bermudian supporters to get out and sign up, go online and sign up for volunteer, BermudaMarathon.pm. And again, even this, talking about the relay, right? Relay is 10 years out. Renee, she brought it up many years before, 10 years ago, and got her eyes at us many times before we actually did it. So we're glad we did. It's been 10 years and it's proven to be extremely successful. 116 teams were in 2015. That was our largest number, and that went from 24 teams in 2009. Yeah. So it really speaks to how encouraging it is for people to see this as an opportunity. I call it as the step into the half, right? It's the step into the half. You do the relay, and then hey, 3 can turn into 9 and can turn into 13 very easily, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're really excited about that component of the event, and we're just looking for that to grow and grow, continue to grow.
Right. For the relays, do you have categories? Like
we do have some
female, male,
categories.
mix?
We do have categories. We have corporate, I think we have school, we have open. We're actually looking at another one this year. This is a new one for the siblings, which will be in honor of the Virgil twins. And while we will have an individual Virgil twin award, we have the relay award, which is any siblings, cousins, everybody just get together and do a little relay, and they could possibly win the award from the Virgil twins. So,
Shakir, August has been on board now almost last 3 to 4 months with Inside Sports Talk Radio,
Mm-hmm.
and you stress the importance of health and fitness.
Yes.
And this event with Dr. Tucker and the Half Marathon Committee, it's an event that really kickstarts our summer.
Yes.
How are you encouraging your staff and representatives of August to come on board and take care of this event and take care of your health for this event itself?
Definitely, and not just Argus staff, but our clients as well. I think that we recognize that not everyone is at the same fitness level as young Mr. Outerbridge here, but we do want to, promote the event because it is a great event. It is the kickstart to summer, and I think that we have an attachment to Bermuda Day, and everyone likes to get involved. So. Why not kind of tie that in with your health and fitness goals? We know that we, as a country, we need to move more and take better care of ourselves. So why not set the relay even as a goal? 5K, I think people can get 5K ready in 5 weeks. And actually, one of the things that Argus is committing to doing in celebration of the 110th year, we have an 110 active minutes challenge coming up on our Get Up and Thrive program. So Get Up and Thrive is our digital wellness platform as part of the Thrive program, which is powered by the Virgin Pulse app. So essentially what people can do starting on Monday, April 29th, it's a 4-week challenge, is sync their activity tracking device, whether that is a Fitbit, a Garmin, Apple Watch, Samsung Gear, and just get out there and move more. It doesn't necessarily have to be running. It could be swimming, it could be cycling, it could be dancing, it could be playing with your pet. Could be playing with your children, but just getting out there and just moving. And if you meet that 110-minute active minute goal, you get entered into a raffle for $50, $110 raffle prizes.
So that 110 minutes could be done within that one time.
Yeah, you can do it within that one time. You can do it over a couple of days. 110 minutes. It's not a hard goal. That's about 20 minutes a day. Maybe even less, and I think that's doable for most people. So we kind of set the bar at a reasonable level so that people can achieve it, and then they realize, hey, this isn't too bad. It's kind of like how that 5K goes to 8K.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we definitely encourage our employees and our clients to try the relay. It's a good way to team build. It's a good goal to set for yourself, and it's a good way to get involved with the half marathon derby.
Okay. Can we see a prize for the person completing the race in 110 minutes?
We have a whole lot of prizes.
I'm just asking because I could come across the finish line just at this time.
110th registrant, the 110th person that crosses the line, and now you've added the 110th minute. I like that. Let's tell that we will make sure we still when it's about the 110th minute. I like that. Thank you very much. Keep adding. Let's add because we're just celebrating. And the idea of doing these types of things is that we will get to know more people who are, because these are people who run this race, and each one of them has a story to tell, right? And so Ryan is telling us his story, and Mom's all up behind this story, right? She's helping make this happen. And so we'll have several more people who can tell us their story just by randomly winning a little something to celebrate this awesome year. 110.
Let's take a commercial break and be back after this. Inside Sports Talk Radio on this Monday afternoon. Back to Shakira. The event is going to be held regarding the half marathon day of May 18th regarding the expo. Where's it going to be held here at Argus?
So it's going to be located, I believe, You
On
can
the
correct me if
top.
I'm wrong.
Mhm.
It'll be in the parking lot behind Argus. So on our Trot Road entrance, we have a nice parking lot, and we'll set it up with vendors, including our sponsors, food vendors. It'll be a nice kind of atmosphere, nice little party atmosphere.
Yeah, that's
We are celebrating after all.
This is different because it's never happened,
No.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how'd you guys come up with this great idea?
Yeah, we just looking at ways and opportunities for us to promote not just the event, but promote what it can do and the health and fitness side of it. It's important that we encourage people to do that. Running, for some people, it's a bucket list item. They tick it off, and it's over and done with. But we do really want to help people to appreciate that while it's a moment in time, the Derby is a moment in time, they really should be thinking about our health and our fitness throughout. And there's so many people in the community, so many businesses in the community that are unwavering, that are committed, that are going over and beyond. Beyond Fitness is one of our sponsors, and Christine is doing so much to help people get fit and get healthy, and she will support many who are interested in running this race. Go online, please, and so you can see what's offered there. So we just thought this would be a really good thing to do to celebrate the people in the community who are doing tremendous work to get people fit and healthy, and then of course to celebrate the event. So everyone's welcome. Usually we have about 1,000 people show up to pick up the numbers. Throughout that morning, we expect that there'll probably be 1,500 with their families, and everyone really just coming to see what's out there that they could get engaged in.
What is the last day for registration?
The last day, what's the last day? The last day is actually the day of number pickup. So that would be late registration, and you would register right there, and you would pay to register late. And just so everybody knows, the price will be different, and you will pay to register late. Before that, online, you have about the week before, approximately, or to get it get your registration in and pay the regular price online. And so we're hoping people, I know how Bermudians can be. Ryan did a good thing. His mama did a good thing. And that's why he's an early bird, he's safe, he's secure, and he's a little richer, right? And while we're speaking in terms of Ryan's sponsorship, we want to recognize Smilers Tuning and Repair, because it is through them that this sponsorship, this award has taken place. That is Janico Place. And I want to highlight Janico and Smilers Tuning and Repair, STR as he calls it, because he's just a regular business out there doing his thing, working hard, and he wanted to support this event, right? And it was really just that simple. And he's like, what can I do? It can be that small, and it could be August big. It can be August big, and it can be STR a little smaller, because I believe that any contribution to this event, especially locally, we've been trying to push it out and get the larger community more engaged in this event, supporting it. And so Janico represents that. And so
if anybody knows Janico, he wouldn't run May 24th.
No, he wouldn't run it. So he just wants
he's a sprinter.
He's a sprinter.
Yeah, he's
right.
a sprinter. Represented Bermuda at the Crifter Games as well.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, he'll support it.
He'll support
He's not running.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, Janico probably should have been here to really just tell us a little bit about himself. Yeah, we should have done that. But Janico, we appreciate you. We appreciate STR. People, go out and get your tuning and repair done at Smilers, where people smile all the time, right?
Before we wrap up, just going back to Shakira, what does this mean for August and this event, being a sponsor, being the lead sponsor?
For us, it's another way in which we can give back to the community. It's we're very happy to work with the Derby team. It's about celebrating who we are. It's about celebrating who we want to become. And this is just such just a quintessentially Bermudian event, and we are just very, very excited to be a part of it. So you'll be seeing us for the next 5 years.
We're looking excited. Yeah.
What's interesting compared to other competitors, meaning your business, is that you're giving something back to the community on a healthy level, and I think that attracts people. What's the response been like that for you guys?
I think like the client response has been very positive. I think our clients always want to see us, walking the talk. Like, no, we're not just, sitting here preaching like we're, but they want to see us not only sponsoring the event, but being involved in the event, whether that is through, helping with the organization, helping with the promotion, running the races. And providing platforms for young individuals like Mr. Otterbridge to kind of share his story. So that's what our clients, that's what the community expects from us. So we like to lead by example in that regard.
Dr. Talk, any final comments?
Hey, listen, it's a big year. It's warming up. It's getting warm out there. It's getting very warm on this committee. We are excited. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to all of our sponsors. A very, very special thank you to August, who has really stepped up to the plate for this year and the next 5. Persons, go online, sign up, get ready. It's coming 5 weeks. It's only 5 weeks. Yeah. So we are looking forward to this year's event, which we know will be a spectacular one.
And also, if you need a little bit of motivation, don't forget, if you're an Argus Health member, sign up for the Get Up and Thrive 110 Active Minutes Challenge. You can do so by either logging on to argus.pm and looking for Get Up and Thrive, or also downloading the Virgin Pulse mobile app via the App Store or Google Play.
Awesome.
Good luck, Ryan.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, Ryan. Good luck.
You
Good
do
to
well.
meet you.
You do
Yeah.
well.
You too.
Good to
Wow.
meet you.
16 years old. Huh?
16
Yeah.
is the next one.
I
It's
see it
the
already.
next big one,
Yeah.
next big thing, next big derby thing, as we say.
Wow. Just want to
Nice.
put that out there that on a separate note, Dr. Talk is competing on April
Miss Ian,
27th. I have to do it. I have to
You
do
have
it.
to give me my own 15 minutes of fame. You have to call me up here to talk about my own experience.
April 27th.
April 27th. So unfortunate that Flora's not going to be. I know she's feeling my competitiveness this
That's what I'm
year.
talking
And
about.
she's
That's what-
just getting a little worried
So
about
now-
Gina.
I'm
Getting, yeah, she's getting worried about Gina. That's why
That's
she's
right.
But very unfortunate. So,
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
but Bermuda will make it an awesome event.
Yeah.
Just the same.
All right, cool.
All right.
We'll take a commercial break and be back after this. And welcome back. We're just waiting for our next guest to arrive. In the meantime, Earl, we got some sad news that happened just the past few days. The passing of the great Lloyd James. As you know, at one time in cup match, he held the record as the highest individual player. I think it was 172.
Yeah.
172 for St. George's. Interesting enough, he tried out for Somerset, and then he didn't make it. He went to St. George's, and Somerset paid dearly.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
He was a giant gentleman of class. I think he was a former school teacher at one time, but he always had a big smile on his face, very humble, very easy to talk to, calm, cool, collected. I remember as a young man watching him when he was playing for Warwick. He hit a 6 and he just put that big smile on his face, right? He didn't mean no harm. He just felt like, yeah, I hit the ball. He didn't mean nothing by it,
Everybody talked about his cricket exploits and his mannerism, both on and off the field. Later in life, he used to enjoy his golf.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
One thing about him, you would always see him, even when he was driving his taxi. If you ever saw him outside the taxi, you'd see him at a golf club.
That's right.
Even if it's just leaning on it. And talking to him over the years, he always reflected on what it took to get himself in the positions he got himself in as far as cricket and sport in general. He talked about how his father made, from a young man, he had to do the work.
Right.
Those guys used to cut stone, they used to do all that. And still go training and put the effort in, and out of that hard work and discipline came the results we saw from a young man later on early in my life and later on in his life and in his cricket career. I am glad he was around back in 1985 to see Gennaro Tucker break his record.
Right.
And I believe the Cup Match was celebrating a significant year that year. And he got a chance to congratulate Gennaro as well. So, records are meant to be broken, and it's always good when the person is around to see those records broken. And I'm pretty sure he had a lot of words of encouragement for plenty of players through his time on the field, and I'm pretty sure when he left the actual field of arena, he was always still hanging around, watching work day here and there. We remember the James clan at Warwick, powerhouses at the time.
Big time.
But teams used to get themselves up to play Warwick, although sometimes you knew it was a tall order.
Yeah.
You might get through the first 3 and feel good about yourself, and then it's another James coming out,
No,
so
you're absolutely right.
I think a strong community, family, sporting base has lost, as you said, a gentle giant.
Yeah.
I think Bermuda is at a loss for what he has been able to do through his life for others, leading a path of working hard and being the sportsman and the person he has been for his entire life.
Yeah, he reminded me of a person who was just easygoing, enjoyed sports, gave you good advice as a player, on and off the field. He enjoyed cricket immensely. He enjoyed cup match, and as you mentioned, that he was a person that believed in records to be broken. He said, "Look, I broke Timmy Evans' record.
Right.
So what? So I'm glad that Gennaro broke my record because it brings the game to another level.
Right.
And he goes, one day that record's going to be broken.
Yeah.
And then as we still talk about cup match, it was interesting how he tried out for Somerset. He didn't make it. He tried, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to St. George." He got a call. He went down there. Man, did he punish Somerset? Not only did he have the highest individual record at one time, he had the overall record, 700 and something runs. Which, I think Charlie Marshall, Wendell Smith, Clay Smith, even Gennaro himself. So those guys went on and broke the records there into the thousands, right? And so that was interesting how he had held a number of records, and I'm sure he held a number of records in the Western County.
Yeah.
You mentioned Western Counties where you mentioned about Warwick, and I'm not being biased, but I think Western Counties survived for a long time because of Warwick,
right? Because
of the Jameses, because people wanted to see these guys play, the cousins and the brothers, and the nephews that put Warwick on the map, and it was amazing what those guys did, and you had like his nephew Stephen, like
Right.
and Trent, like
Mhm.
his brother Al James,
Right.
and then it's funny you talk about Al. You think someone's let Al go?
No, we're gonna have it twice. We're gonna have it twice. But the you could see when people used to say walk tall, and
That's right. That's right.
and you just picture someone of Lloyd James' stature walking tall. You know, it's one of those things, the lasting memories, I'm pretty sure, for the family and those that watched him play week in and week out, how he approached his sport. And again, you know, later in life, how he approached his golf, because there's plenty of stories, and I know out in Rena and these guys that play on a regular basis, they've got the stories, because they played cricket together.
Definitely.
And then they were on the golf courses together. And you know, one thing about sports, it builds relationships beyond the sport itself, that you meet the person, because these guys continued their friendship and can go anywhere and play whatever it was, and by chance they all happen to fall into golf, and I see that with recent past players who are now taking up the sport of golf and enjoying time away from that competition on the cricket pitch or on the football field, to take up a sport.
Sure.
Stay involved, stay in tune with one another, and have fun. So those are the type of things that I know a lot of the guys, although they'll miss him from a cricket standpoint, they'll miss the conversations that they've been able to have with him regarding just life itself.
Life itself. Good point. Good point. Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and we bring our next guest in the studio. That is representatives of the ITU. Giving us an update on the story that Earl Basin broke early this morning on radio about the reasons behind Flora Duffy not participating in this year's event. We're going to take a commercial break. Again, back to regarding Lloyd James, excuse me. He will be sorely missed for sure.
Definitely.
Sorely missed for sure. All right, we'll take a commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Talk Radio, Inside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Baisden.
Well, welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Joining us here at Argus in the boardroom, got it. Are members from the Bermuda Triathlon World Series event that will take place right here on our shores, April 27th. But obviously, kind of sad news that unfortunately the defending champion of the women's elite race, Bermuda's own Flora Duffy, will not compete this year due to injury, something she's been fighting for just under a year. But President Stephen Petty, obviously a conversation with Flora would have been very tough over this weekend.
Yeah, I think as I've said to a number of people today, all of us who are organizing were emotionally involved in this event. It's a big event. Flora is the Flora factor. So for us to come to grips with it took a bit of time. But I think there are some positives from it. The other girls that are competing are going to look at it and say, well, here's an opportunity for them. Olympic points are on the table. But Flora has been very gracious. She's still going to honor her commitment to come to Bermuda. We've talked about her competing in a relay team. She can swim and cycle, so she's going to cycle for a team. We'll find a swimmer and a runner for her, so she'll compete in the age group, which is great for those people who are in that event. Hopefully it'll bring a few more spectators out in the morning to see her. But we respect her decision 120%. She's got Olympics coming up. She's got World Championships Grand Final in Lausanne at the end of August, which is a course tailor-made for her. So just chatting with Alec earlier, I think now Leeds is going to be her next event, hopefully in June. If
anyone remembers the year she won the world title, she missed the first two events.
Yeah.
Through injury. And then came back and went on a tear of winning 6 straight and finishing second in one and then coming back to win the rest. So she has that to fall back on. I know it would be disappointing for you guys because obviously she is the biggest draw for a local event. But the mere fact that she's going to still take part in it, not the elite race, must be sort of gratifying for the organizers.
Yes, it's great. And we had a chance to speak to her when she made this decision. And I can tell you no one is more disappointed than Flora not to be involved. She was so looking forward to performing again before her own crowd. So she was very proactive in saying, I really want to be here, I want to be meeting people and being a part of the event still. So it was Flora who wanted to make up a team to be in the age group race in the morning, which is fantastic for us. So we were very keen to encourage her to go ahead with that. So she'll make up a team. Everyone will be able to see her on the bike. She's got a custom-made new bike to show off, so she wants to do that. And she'll use it as training and a bit of fun and to put on a show for people. So she really wants people to see her.
Right. And obviously, from a marketing standpoint, we still want to encourage people to come out and support the 35 elite female and 35 elite male.
No, it's more than that. It's actually 55.
Oh, we've increased it to 55. Okay,
well, so the thing to emphasise is actually the overall standard of the fields this year is a lot higher than last year.
Because of those Olympic points.
Yeah. Well, it's the Olympic points. Last year we had the Commonwealth Games 2 or 3 weeks before, so that ruled out some of the Australian athletes, for example. With the Olympic qualification, we've got a really strong field in both men and women. And perhaps, we all want Flora to be there, but if she's not there, it may be more wide open for the race itself. And it's impossible to know who will go clear and win that race now.
Do we still leave it as the women going off second?
Yes.
Or that's going to stay the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is that this is now the elite athletes want to come to Bermuda because it's the home of the grand final in 2021. They want to start getting used to the course. So this year and next year we'll probably see even more. But as Alex said, it'll be interesting. The world champion will be here. She's not a great swimmer, but a really good runner. The French girl, I think, who won in Hamburg last year when Flora came 10th, she's going to be here as well. So the race will play out differently without Flora, who leads from the front. And so, the lead could change many times, which will make it really exciting and interesting.
Last year we saw on the bike course, the pack stayed together, not trying to, they were hoping Flora would come back to them, but pretty much you will probably see the same thing, or you're expecting to see the same thing on the bike course.
There's no one else there really other than the Swiss girl who was second in the Olympics, who doesn't race that much during the years preceding. She would really try to mix it up, but the rest will be very conservative and wait to the run.
Right, especially that corkscrew hill.
Yeah, 10 times. They'll always be thinking one more time,
Right.
one more time.
Right.
It'll probably make them a bit more cautious.
Now, I know we only have one more show before the event. Are we still doing the Friday test run where they'll be blocking off the road at
Yes.
certain points? So can we just make sure we understand what times there's going to be, and so everybody, we start getting that message out.
And actually that's called the bike familiarisation. So it's an ITU requirement that we allow the elite athletes to go around the elite course, and obviously most of the time we can't do that because it's against the flow of traffic. So they have to do that before the event, and it's around 24 hours before. So that's set for 10:30 on Friday morning.
Okay.
And what will happen there will be a police escort for that, but there'll only be rolling road closures. So the roads will only actually be closed while the group go past.
Right.
And the men and women all go together,
Yes.
so it's one big bunch of 100 odd.
Last year, if I could recall, it on 2 laps, right?
They did 2 laps, so it's all over in about 20 minutes.
Right. So they're going to do 2 again.
Yes.
They'll do the swim first, or they'll do the bike and then go in the water.
Yeah, they do the bike first, then they go in the water.
Okay.
So,
all right.
but it's in terms of disruption, it's pretty minimal.
It wasn't that bad last year, if any at all. I mean, I know, like you said, it's rolling, so they come through, come up corkscrew, and the traffic starts flowing again.
That's right.
So, yeah. Okay.
And the police did an excellent job.
Right. Any other important things happening the day before that the public need to know about? I know we're starting with the kickoff Harbour Night on the Thursday night.
Yes, the opening ceremony and Harbour Nights on Thursday night,
Right.
which Flora will be at the opening ceremony. In fact, she's committed to be present at every aspect of the World Triathlon Festival weekend. So, as we've said before, she is just a true champ in every sense of the word. So she'll be there at the opening ceremony. She will be present at the Kids Duathlon on the Friday night.
Right.
And some more details will be coming out during the week, but you'll see her on or around the course on the sidelines on the Saturday after she's completed her age group race. So people who were planning to come out on Saturday to line the streets with their picnic baskets instead of lunch, it'll be breakfast, and you'll be out there nice and early at 7 a.m. to watch our hero climbing Corkscrew Hill and flying through Hamilton on a bike. And then, potentially also on the Sunday, there'll be opportunities for her. So the public will really get to see and feel a lot more of who Flora is as the person, as much as we know her as the athlete. I think it's a great opportunity for us and also for the community to really understand the sport now and to follow the race for the nail-biting qualities of the race versus the euphoria that we get from watching our favorite athlete, right? So it'll be a really great weekend, and nothing really takes away from the pain that she must be in, for not just physically but mentally for having to come to this. But she's certainly doing all she can to come to Bermuda in full colours.
Sorry, good.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen. I sit here and I keep looking at you, and I could see the strain and stress of not having Flora for you personally, because you've been around her family for a very long time. Must be tough for you.
Yeah, it is. But I've come to grips with it more that there's a full season. There's a lot of races between now and Tokyo 2020, and let's focus on her recovery and being race fit for those events. The test event this year is in the middle of August in Tokyo, and I know she really wants to do that. But yeah, it's you're riding a high for 3 years now.
Yes.
This is a blip,
right?
But I'm sure we'll see much better in days to come.
Definitely.
And I think if people look at it and think, well, would we like her to be in this race and win this race or win Tokyo? Then
Tokyo's
definitely go for Tokyo. So we wouldn't want to be the place where she has another setback which puts her out for a few months.
And I think that would be selfish of us to ask her to sacrifice a career dream of winning a medal at the Olympics, whether it be gold, silver, or bronze, to go through an event in Bermuda and really not be able to even get on the start line. I
don't think anyone would ask that, would they?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been an outpouring of support for her,
Right.
just on all the social channels, and from her athlete colleagues, from people who don't know her, from people who are personal friends. It's just incredible to see the support that is behind that, that athlete and that beautiful human, right?
Right.
It's obvious from some of these comments that she's just a really well-loved person. Yeah.
Before we wrap up, the average person may say, well, she's doing team, right? Which is fine, she's going to do cycling. How severe is the injury where she wouldn't be able to swim and run?
She could swim,
She can swim
run.
and she can cycle. And it's apparently from what little medical advice I've asked for, it's on the top above her arch, and it's when she runs, and as she says, it is healing, and you can see that from the ultrasounds, but it's not at the point where you would really feel confident. And I think we said last week she was up to 60, 70K running a week, but it wasn't getting better.
Right.
So
the pain was still there.
The pain was still there, but it doesn't bother her at all, cycling or swimming.
Right.
So the pound is not in there. It's like, all right, that's good. Average person would say, well, she can cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Of course, yeah. There was talk about just doing the swim and the cycle and dropping out, but that's not her.
No.
That's we don't want to see that.
She would have gotten into that, and emotion and adrenaline and all that would have gone into it. Because, no competitor wants to quit.
Yeah.
No one wants to, especially if you're that level of a competitor, and something drastic has to happen.
Yeah.
And, I think the right decision right now has been made for her health and the rest of her career. So, we wish her all the best. We'll look out for her next week, especially Thursday when it all starts. So, I know it's tough for you guys, but we champion on because we have another year too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's worth saying it's still a great event.
Oh, definitely.
Even without Flora, so please come along. And, we'll enjoy
I think
it.
Bermuda will turn up still with their flags.
Yes.
And show what we have to offer to a group of elite athletes who, believe it or not, if anyone tried this at the level in which they were doing it, you will have a different appreciation. I know even the try people will have a different appreciation of what these elite athletes will have to go through in order to prepare to get on that start line. So we'll see how that all works out.
Any final comments before we wrap up, ladies and gentlemen?
No, but thanks so much for your support and to the public's support.
Right.
All the different agencies working together. It has been, it hasn't been a stress, that's for sure. Now we're looking at the weather just to make sure it can be like this.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
100%.
Right.
And anybody who wants to race alongside Flora, I'd suggest you register for the age group race. It's still open until this Friday.
How is that going to be drawn? Because I need to know.
Oh, I'm not talking about her team now. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about for her team. How's this going to be drawn? Has she picked a team?
Vicky's part of the team.
Yeah.
She says she's going to ride. So
Ian's going to be the swimmer.
We'll
24 hours later, you'll still be swimming.
We'll hopefully be able to get some of the Carifta juniors.
Okay. And a runner? Oh, nice. That'll be nice. That'll be really nice for her.
Yeah, because she's not trying to win anything.
Right.
And I think the most important thing in the team events is the corporate, which she will not challenge for.
Right.
The corporate guys get a bit serious.
Yeah.
The average person who puts a team in, it's more to enjoy the event.
Be in the atmosphere.
And try to do their best in that particular discipline that they're in.
Okay.
I think we've got about 25 teams now, so if anyone's still out there who's thinking of it, then it's still time to sign up before Good Friday.
Well, they heard Flora's going to compete now. I stand no chance. If I was in ride, I stand no chance now.
But you get to share the transition
with
a hero.
Listen, if you want to put your taking while in competition with Flora, you can get on the bike and ride.
I think Ian's just changed his mind. He's forming his team finally.
I'm working.
Working on it.
Yeah, it has to go on. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll take a commercial break and we'll wrap up after this.
Now, back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Inside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Baiston.
And welcome back. We're just wrapping up here on Inside Sports Talk Radio live today from the Argus Group Insurance. It's our third visit here, and I must admit, we enjoy every time we come here.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's a great one. Interesting day of sports. We covered, obviously the passing of Lloyd James, and the unfortunate news of Philadelphia not competing. It's just weird how sports just continues to go on, but we're losing one pioneer, and then we got another pioneer coming to the island, making her name. Unfortunately, she's injured, but she will be making her way forward on her next events on the international triathlon calendar for 2019. And our goal is obviously to make the Olympics for 2020. Any final comments?
No, just looking forward yet again to another sporty week, and everyone enjoy your sport, enjoy your time. Remember those who have come before us, and make sure that we honor and respect them and carry on where they left off in the world of sports.
For sure. And continue your good work, Liverpool. We'll see you next week Sunday. That's all for now.